You just check out the window. This is such a bad idea. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2, Episode 9. Now, the last episode was absolutely insane. It was so crazy. It started off in like such a weird way where the gang were just being chased down by Azula and her team. They were dealing with like conflicts and just Toph's integration into the team. Then it ended up with this massive fight between, like, you got to see all the elements being used, and they were like, literally Zuko was basically teaming up with the gang against Azula. That is just insane to me. I mean, it's obviously not means they're like friends or anything. It's just they had a common enemy. But it ended with Iroh being shot and nothing got explained after that. We just saw him lying on the ground with Zuko basically crying over his body. That better not be death. I'm hoping he must live. He breathed, so I'm expecting maybe some recovery from him. He can't die like now. It is only halfway through season 2. He's bound to last for like the whole show, hopefully. It would be honestly so bad if they killed him off now, because then Zuko basically has no one, and that would just be terrible. But yeah, after that, I have no idea what to expect from this. We had Toph's integration into the group, so that's done. Then we had Zuko sort of finding himself-ish. He's still after Aang, so we know where he is at, and he's back with Iroh. So all the things I was thinking is going to, that's done. That was done quite quickly, and now I've just not got any idea of what could happen next. The only thing I'm thinking of is just dealing with Iroh and what on earth has happened to him now. Of course, I do also find it interesting that I think this is the first time we've seen a character actually try and kill one of the other characters. Like, so Azula actually shot at Iroh, I'm assuming with the intention of killing. Maybe not, but it's still a dark thing. Of course, we had Zhao killing a spirit creature, but it's always been, they've been trying to capture Aang. It was never killing, and they explained that by basically he's the Avatar. You kill him, he'll be reborn again. So it sort of takes away that darkness. Here, now, that we got that darkness almost back, and it's just interesting to see that they're doing that. It's made me so excited for like whatever could come next, because now it feels like they could introduce like a death to a character now. It feels like they have gone that darker step, and I'm so looking forward to see how this all plays out. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in.
Today's the day!
Rather peaceful. I was hoping we'd get more on Iroh.
All that time searching for a teacher, I'm finally starting earthbending.
Oh, okay, this is a good episode then. So you're starting to actually finally train my favourite element. Great.
Oh, you're still sleeping, huh? Sorry.
What now?
Good morning!
That was just you.
Good morning, Sifu Toph.
You never call me Sifu Katara.
Well, if you think I should.
just talk away from Sokka.
Quietly as we can.
Oh dear. And now he's awake.
Running around and making noises.
Just sleep behind Appa.
What move are you gonna teach me first? Rocket Launch? The Trembler? Oh, maybe I can learn to make a whirlpool out of land.
What?
Start with move a rock.
Okay, yeah, good starting point. Yeah, what did Katara do? She's just started you to make like a wave.
You've got to be steady and strong. Rock is a stubborn element. If you're going to move it, you've got to be like a rock yourself.
Okay. Is Aang stubborn?
The motion of this one is pretty simple.
Okay, just punching it and it's insanely powerful.
You ready to give it a try?
He's gonna hurt his hand, isn't he? Is he gonna be like amazing like he was with water? No! Okay, not like waterbending. What? What's this? Dreams?
My beloved Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Okay, this is sad. So we've gone to the Iroh thing.
You were unconscious.
So he's alive?
Azula did this to you. It was a surprise attack.
Okay, he's fine.
Somehow, that's not
fine.
so surprising.
I hope I made it the way you like it.
Aww. Guess not.
That was very bracing.
I love Iroh so much.
So
He's not even
good.
like complaining.
I've been thinking.
Just check out the window.
I'm going to need to know more advanced firebending if I want to stand a chance against her.
True. Aren't you already advanced?
She's crazy and she needs to go down.
I love you so much. You know, like, he's not like the overly peaceful sensei. He's like realistic. Azula needs to go down.
To resume your training.
Awesome. Please don't let him use it against Aang.
What if I came at the boulder from a different angle?
No, that's the problem. You've got to stop thinking like an airbender.
Ooh.
Different angle, no clever solution, no trickety trick that's gonna move that rock.
Just punch it?
Gotta face it head on. And when I say head on, I mean like this.
Okay, this... Oh, well. Okay, this is so interesting, because yeah, Aang always is like avoid and evade. That's what Boomy like knew about airbenders.
He really responds well to a positive teaching experience.
That ain't
Lots
tough.
of encouragement and praise.
That sounds nothing like tough.
If he's doing something wrong, maybe a gentle nudge in the right direction.
Gentle?
Thanks, Katara. A gentle nudge. I'll try that.
This...
Keep your knees high, Twinkle Toes!
Yeah, completely ignored. Is this earthbending or is this just him holding a giant boulder? No, that's not earthbending. I like the change here. He's not excelling like Katara, and so I was wondering how like Toph was gonna. I was wondering how Toph would teach him, and it's like, so he's not good. So yeah, she's not gonna be jealous of him being amazing. So I wonder like how this is gonna go. He stole his sword. Too slow? We're not sensing it. Oh, you blindfolded him. He's trying. You're making him listen to the earth. Oh, whoa! This is so cool. Is he doing it? Is that... Is Toph starting, or is this just Toph messing with him? Over the line? You're doing it? So he's actually starting. Great, head on. This is cool. Wow! Oh, and she's impressed. Okay, so, wow, that's... Is it you had to change a lot of his, I guess, personality then? Because he can't just avoid and evade. It's like that changing.
Unfortunately for you, you're made of meat.
You could have killed a thing. What?
Gotcha!
Oh. I think the earth is against you here, Sokka.
You are one lucky little meat creature.
Lightning is a pure expression of firebending.
Lightning? You're going to teach him lightning bending?
Some call lightning the cold-blooded fire.
Cool. So we're getting more relation on why, like, firebenders can bend lightning.
The technique requires peace of mind.
Peace of mind. You'd call Azula's mind calm?
There is energy all around us. The energy is both yin and yang.
Like the fish?
A select few firebenders can separate these energies.
So it's a rare ability.
You provide release and guidance, creating lightning.
Okay, so it's like they're not in control at all. They're just, like, letting it move through them. This is so awesome. Oh, wow.
Remember, once you separate the energy, you do not command it. You are simply its humble guide.
Okay, is that going to be an issue for Zuko? I don't think he's like that kind of... I feel like he's very much wanting to control things. Is this going to go well? I see nothing. Oh! What? What? He didn't bend any lightning, he just made an explosion.
Instead of moving a rock, you're going to stop a rock.
Okay.
I'm going to roll that boulder down at you. The attitude of an earthbender. You'll stay on your stance and stop the rock.
Oh, the fear.
Sorry, Toph, but are you sure this is really the best way to teach Aang?
Is there still more friction between these two?
Actually, there is a better way. This way, you'll really have to sense the vibrations of the boulder to stop it.
Isn't this a bit advanced?
Thank you, Katara.
Yeah, thanks.
I love that. It's like barely any effort. It's almost like she's flicking the rock and it's smoothing. How is this gonna go? Is he gonna do it? I mean, it looked like it promising. Oh, no, he moved out the way. So that's the avoid and evade things. Oh, angry Toph.
You had a perfect stance and perfect form, but when it came right down to it, you didn't have the guts.
She's a fun teacher.
If you're not tough enough to stop the rock, then you could at least give it the pleasure of smushing you. Do you have what it takes to face that rock like an earthbender?
Is he responding to this?
No, I don't think I do.
Well, you have no choice.
You'll take a break and try earthbending again when you're ready. Besides, you still have a lot of waterbending to work on.
Can they teach him together? I feel like a good balance of both of them could help.
Yeah, whatever. Go splash around until you feel better.
Because I think Toph's style is in keeping with earthbending, and like she would know how to teach it.
Instead of lightning, it keeps exploding in my face, like everything always does.
Oh.
You will not be able to master lightning until you have dealt with the turmoil inside you.
What?
What turmoil?
Must let go of your feelings of shame if you want your anger to go away.
Oh, wait, we're really going in depth here?
Pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source.
Oh.
True humility is the only antidote to shame.
My life has been nothing but humbling lately.
Well, apparently not humbling enough.
I will teach you a firebending move that even Azula doesn't know.
Really?
I made it up myself.
Awesome. I love their bond. It's so cool.
You probably think I deserve this, don't you?
You're still stuck and it's on his head.
Big things eat smaller things, nothing personal.
And you're just
But
talking
this time
to
it didn't work out that way.
You're gonna get attached to it, aren't you?
I admit it. You're cute.
Yeah.
Okay, you convinced me. If I get out of this alive, it's a karmically correct vegetarian existence for me.
Really?
No meat. Even though meat is so tasty.
Has no one noticed he's gone missing? Does no one care? Oh, please, it's your pet now. He is your pet now.
That's okay, I got it. Yeah.
No, it's just torturing you.
You do realize that's the problem, don't you? If you face this issue instead of avoid.
This is so peaceful.
If fire and water are opposites, then what's the opposite of air?
Earth.
That's why it's so hard for you to get this. You're working with your natural opposite.
Ah. So this is quite cool.
Think fast.
Ah. Slicing it half, amazing.
You have the reflexes of a water-bending master.
Thanks, Katara.
Oh.
Sifu, Katara.
Ah. Okay, so we're getting to see two different teaching styles and how it all combines with how the elements are in themselves.
The people of the Earth Kingdom are diverse and strong,
Yeah.
persistent and enduring.
Are you teaching them about all the elements?
The air nomads detached themselves from worldly concerns.
See, they're already talking in past tense because there are no air nomads anymore.
The people of the water tribe are capable of adapting to many things.
And that's the opposite of fire.
Sense of community and love that holds them together through anything.
Deep sense of community and love. Pretty opposite to fire.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale.
I love this. So even Iroh is like, so he must be against the wall, like now.
All this four elements talk is sounding like Avatar stuff.
It is the combination of the four elements in one person that makes the Avatar so powerful.
Yeah.
It can make you more powerful too.
Like more understanding.
Technique I am about to teach you is one I learned by studying the waterbenders.
So there's no way you can go back to like the Fire Nation. If you're opening your mind up to like what the other elements can teach you, you can't want to destroy them all and have the Fire Nation be the only thing, like what they did with the Air Nomads.
Even if you did, you're too much of a pushover to do anything about it.
You taunting it?
Because I also have this great new nutcracker.
Oh no.
Actually, I'd prefer if you didn't.
Come on,
That's an antique,
come on.
handcrafted by the monks.
Yeah, come on.
It's not the only delicate instrument around here.
I love how she's pushing him. Because like, yeah, to, I guess, earthbend, you have to become more like Toph then.
It's almost sundown and Sokka isn't back yet.
Finally!
We'll find him faster if we split up.
I mean, he's kind of okay. He's just stuck in a hole.
Okay, karma person or thing, whoever's in charge. If I can just get out of this situation alive, I will give up meat and sarcasm.
Okay, yeah, none of that's gonna happen.
That's
oh,
all
wow.
I got.
No ponytail.
But I'm willing to be Sokka the veggies and straight talk fellow.
Is he just going crazy stuck in his hole?
Thank goodness! Have you got any meat?
He looks so ridiculous.
But I don't think the rest of me is coming.
He's really wedged in there. Nope.
I could use a little earth bending here. How about it?
I can't.
Ugh. You probably can. Just try. You moved Toph past the line.
Bend me out of here. Go get Toph.
I can't do that either. It would just be really uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Well, I wouldn't want you to feel uncomfortable.
Seriously, that's your reason?
Thanks, Sokka.
What?
This whole earthbending thing really... it puts me in a really awkward position.
Awkward
No.
position. I think I know the feeling.
I fail. But if I don't try, I'm never gonna get it.
You will get it.
Caught between a rock and a hard place.
How about that? My friend Fufu Cuddly Poops, Aang.
He named the thing.
Name for a little baby saber-toothed moose lion cub.
What? What?
Looks nothing like a saber-toothed moose lion.
Those are so many bad words. Moose, lion, cub, saber-tooth. Sokka's dead. That looks insane. Sokka's dead. Sokka's done.
A waterbender lets their defense become their offense, turning their opponent's energy against them.
Cool.
You can teach me to redirect lightning?
If you let the energy,
Oh, so can like Azula not redirect lightning? Because you just summon it.
you must create a pathway from your fingertips, then down into your stomach. The stomach is the source of energy in your body.
Cool.
The stomach detour is critical.
Okay, so
You
it's...
must not let the lightning pass through your heart, where the damage could be deadly.
Hey.
You may wish to try a physical motion to get a feel for the pathway's flow.
Okay, so you're going to teach him not to create it, or like summon it, but to redirect it. This could work quite well. So he won't be able to... Because Azula does it quite a bit then. So when she does it, he can just, like, bounce it back at her?
Come on. You've got to feel the...
I love that the motivation behind this is to use against Azula and not Aang.
I'm ready to try with real lightning.
What, are you crazy? Lightning is very dangerous.
Thought that was the point. You teaching me how to protect myself from it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to shoot lightning at you. You're lucky you will never have to use this technique at all.
Okay, so he's not actually going to be able to practice that technique? That seems like a bad idea.
If you won't help me, I'll find my own lightning.
Oh, no. No, not alone! Oh, please say Iroh goes with him, because if he gets, like, shot by lightning, that could be very bad. You're so dead. At least Sokka is.
We have no problem with you. We're friendly.
That, yeah, he doesn't care.
Bad, you gotta get me out of here.
You're dead. Oh. Ooh.
Please, Aang, you have to earthbend me out.
You need earthbending. This is quite a good scenario. That's doing nothing. That did nothing. This is good. He's literally stuck. He has to earthbend. There's no other option. You can't avoid it. Would it? No. I don't think... It doesn't care. It only cares about Sokka.
Please don't leave me again.
Come on. No. Earthbend. Wait. Okay, you did it. No earthbending necessary. You're just watching.
What are you doing here?
Just enjoying the show.
You were there the whole time?
Pretty much.
I love you so much.
Sokka was in trouble. I was in trouble.
You need to be forced to actually use earthbending and like stay put. Oh.
Do it now.
What?
Earthbend, Twinkle Toad.
Come on, so you just need to be angry.
And even more impressive, you stood your ground against me.
But do
Please.
it!
Yes, just do it now before you calm down. Do it. Excellent. So he's, yes, finally.
You're an earthbender.
Aw, this is really...
He's still stuck in the hole.
So could you get me out of here so I can give you both a big snuggly hug?
You're still a little new to this. You might
Okay.
accidentally crush him.
Oh. I love how she does it so much. You could have just flung him out the hole, but no, she had to drag him out.
Not knowing if I would live or die, it makes a man think about what's really important.
Really?
Realize,
Hey, Katara, look what I can do!
Yeah, no one cares, Sokka.
You tried the positive reinforcement, didn't you?
Yep, it worked wonders.
Oh, I love that. He's avoiding conflict. You just gone to a thunderstorm?
You could at me. Well, I can take it, and now I can give it back.
You're shouting at the sky? Oh dear. This is such a bad idea!
You've never held back before.
This... Ay, ay, ay. Tears? No lightning? Okay. That's... Okay, that was an interesting way to end the episode. Okay, got a bunch of thoughts about how they ended that. So he's yelling at the sky, well, not the sky, the universe, saying that it's always treated him badly, and the one time he actually wants it to throw him a negative thing, it doesn't. That's honestly quite so powerful. And the one time he actually wants to be shot down by the universe, it won't do it. It's like another bad thing for him. The one time he wants something negative, the universe still won't give it to him. Kind of a good thing, because if he did get zapped by lightning, I don't think that would go well. Like, how would someone practice lightning bending? How did Iroh actually practice redirecting it to begin with? Was it like just a sheer luck or something that he managed to do it correctly the first time? Because I don't imagine like the first time going badly would mean they live afterwards. Like, honestly, it does make it so cool that this is such a rare technique, probably because anyone who tries it ends up dying. I'm just so happy that the motivation behind this whole thing was trying to take down Azula. Even Iroh was like, yeah, she's crazy and she needs to be taken down. Love that. And now, yeah, there wasn't even one mention of Aang on their side. Well, they did mention the Avatar, but it wasn't like in a negative way. They weren't thinking of using this technique against Aang. So they are still going after Azula as that enemy. I like that they had that shift now, that his goal isn't to take down Aang, it's to take down Azula, and I'm so happy with that. It probably means that he just wants to take Azula down so he doesn't have competition to get the Avatar, but I still like that there's this redirected focus. So it's more positive than going after Aang. And of course I love the little training stuff going on with Toph and Aang. It was so like funny to watch, and it's cool that how they explain the elements. We've got a lot in this. We've got explanations from Iroh about how all the elements sort of are related to their respective peoples. So it's so interesting that they've gone so in depth with Aang being so naturally like childish, carefree, and Airbender being avoiding and evading. Yet when he gets to deal with earthbending, it's like a block and he can't like do it because he wants to avoid the problems. He won't face it head on. And I guess it was something mentioned by Boomy, so I like that that's kind of been developed now. So would he not avoid problems now? Is that like, with each element, is he going to gain what the nations sort of take from them? So you have the waterbenders who are like free-flowing, they just deal with problems as they come, or they move around them. Earthbenders now like are rigid and will just deal with problems head on. Is Aang going to take parts from all of those nations and just going to become a better individual from all that? But then again, I'm not sure what he can get from the Fire Nation then, because they haven't really gone into that, I guess. What we've seen from the Fire Nation is they're kind of crazy. So I want to know what like the fire bending stuff is. Like, when will he learn that? I'm guessing, yeah, this is book 2 called Earth, so I'm guessing book 3 is Fire. So I'm guessing that's when he's going to learn it. But I want to know, like, it's so cool how each element does something with the personality and how he needs to match his personality to actually use these elements. It does make me wonder, like, why can't more people become avatars? I think there's like the avatar state and spirit. I get that. But like, what if you had someone who could understand the mentality of all the elements and understand them in a way that they could just use all of them? Since feels like they keep breaking it down into more personality-based stuff, and that's what lets them bend the elements like they can. And it seems very rigid in the sense that if you have someone born into a nation, they're going to come up with that cultural identity, and they'll be able to bend that element because it's close to their like personality and cultural identity. But what if you have someone that's sort of maybe a mixture of both? Can they like have a personality that contradicts their culture, and then that lets them use stuff from another element? It feels like they're just blurring the lines between the elements. They don't feel like that disconnected. Seeing Aang trained through them, it feels like there is like that connection that if almost anyone could tap into, but they just don't. So of course Sokka's story was also super funny. I love how the episodes do it. We had that super serious and very dramatic stuff with Zuko. I love that they're doing that sort of thing. He is this amazing character to watch. And you have Aang, which is the more silly but developmental sort of state where he's trying to learn all the elements and we get to see a character journey. Sokka right now is just comic relief a bit. I do love it when they give him some more like stuff to do, but I love it when he's just like this. He was stuck in the hole for the entire episode, going through some weird emotional crisis, bonding with a little animal he wanted to eat, and then confronted by that giant tiger, moose, saber-toothed lion thing. Awesome. Okay, once again, that was an absolutely incredible episode. It's blowing my mind how good these episodes are getting. Like, this one, it's the tone that I'm loving and how they're structuring these sort of things. We have stuff with Zuko, who's very dramatic and emotional, and then we have Aang, which is a bit of that, but much more comically leaning. Then you have Sokka, whose little side story is just full-on comedy. I love how they're separating those out to make just one incredible episode. I think Zuko's part of this story might be... No, it's hard to think of which like little storyline to follow and which would be my favourite from this episode. Zuko's is incredible because we're getting to see that sort of relationship with Iroh. We've got that comedy where they think Azula's crazy and needs to be taken down. But then that ending, it's just thought-provoking and trying to think and dissect Zuko's character. He's yelling at the universe for how it's always mistreated him, and the one time he wants it to shoot him down, it won't do it. It's just incredibly sad in a way. Like the tear at the end, it's just really powerful, and I'm just loving how much was just from that one scene. And of course, Iroh's storyline, absolutely love. So it starts off with him, because he was knocked out and he was thinking of his son. That's amazing, but it's also showing he's still got that pain of losing him. And I'm hoping we go more into that. I want to know like how much it shaped him as a person. It's clearly shaped him a lot, but I want to see like that turn. I would love it if we get an episode devoted to Iroh in the past as he learns that his son has died or something, and how it actually changed him. I want to know what journey he went on to go from being a Fire Nation general to being this amazing, loving uncle who's sort of a whole separate entity to this war. Because we keep getting little hints and flashbacks, and now I've actually got to see him with his son and like being an amazing like father to him, just having fun. Then immediately going to him over his like grave, and now he is with Zuko. I want to know like more about the relationship between Iroh and his son and how that sort of relates to Zuko's and Iroh's relationship. It feels so powerful, and I just want more on it. So yeah, Zuko and Iroh, Zuko's trying to learn a style of lightning bending, because all we've seen, I guess that's it means that we've seen two separate versions of lightning bending then. We saw Iroh redirect it on the ship, so the lightning was summoned from the sky and he directed it away. Azula full on just summons it out of the energy that's in the air, and she separates the energy and makes it volatile and then shoots it somewhere. So that's what she can do, yet Zuko can't do that because he isn't humble enough. But then why isn't Azula that humble? Does she, the way Iroh describes it sounds like it needs almost a monk-like figure who's fully idealized themselves and fully knows themselves. Azula just seems completely insane. So how does she know it when Zuko can't? Then I do love that that Zuko can't do it, so he has to find a way to redirect it. Azula's obviously more violent, so she must go with, I guess, the being able to summon it and then shoot it sort of thing. While they're going with Zuko being a more defensive sort of character. And I guess they're focusing on the water tribe aspect, where he needs to learn to sort of take someone's attack and turn it against them. So that's what he's doing, he's redirecting. So he still hasn't gotten that yet. And Iroh said he learned that from the water tribe, so maybe Zuko would have to learn like something from the water tribe people to try and learn how to do lightning bending like that. Because so far he's just getting an explosion. Interesting though that he can make an explosion to begin with. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how that will develop. That feels like he's going down the path of redemption instead of going back into villainy, which I like. It's another step forward onto this good sort of path, which I want him to be on, because he's still in that spot where he could go downhill or he could become better. Right now the motivation is to take down Azula. Now whether or not that's just because he hates her or it's because he wants to get her out the way so he can go after Aang. And now he's learning a style of fighting which leans more towards the light, where he's taking someone's attack and turning it against them. So if he actually manages to do that, I think that can get him much more on the lighter path, instead of like summoning lightning, which feels much more on the darker path. And then of course you have Aang's training, which I love that we're getting to see more of that in depth. I think some of you told me that it's like the elements are weird and the Earth would contradict Aang. I was expecting Aang to almost excel like he did with Katara, but I do like that they changed it and they did something different with it, because they're keeping like the training interesting. So we've seen all the styles of training now. We had water, which he excelled at and made Katara jealous, and it made it difficult to teach him because she had the issues there. But again, Aang wasn't really being that humble. He was just destroying her and almost reveling in it. No, he wasn't reveling in it. He was happy that he was doing so well, and he didn't recognise that Katara wasn't so happy with that. And we also got to see firebending being taught, where he was careless and he let it be destructive, and we got Katara's healing abilities out of that, which was cool. But we got to see what happens when they don't learn it in the correct order, and it did end badly. And does he still have the vow where he's not going to learn firebending? Because that seems like a huge mistake. So does he think after he's done with earthbending that that's it? Does he feel like he's going to be ready then? But yeah, now I've gone to see earthbending. Love that it's sort of this different style thing where he has to give up some of his ideas behind... Yeah, he has to give up so much of his like fighting style ideas. He's been entrenched with the idea that he has to avoid and evade from airbending, which has made waterbending easier because they're similar. When he has to learn earthbending, it's complete opposite, where now he has to sort of not avoid and evade. It makes me wonder, like, if he had a rematch with Boomy, how would that go now that he can understand earthbending a whole lot more? Would he still avoid and evade? And how... It feels like he's growing so much just from this one episode, like in his fighting style. It feels like his original fighting style was going to be predictable. Now that he's got airbending, it feels like he can do so much more in that fighting arena sort of thing. Because like each of the other elements, it's clear that they have their own individual fighting style. Waterbenders are change someone's attack to their defense. Earthbenders are rigid and will face an attack head on. firebenders don't really know yet, and airbenders avoid and evade. So when he's actually fighting a firebender, will he be able to predict what they're going to do and then pick an element to basically go around it? Also really like Toph and Katara's relationship in this, because it felt a little bit like Katara may have been overstepping on Toph's teaching style, where she basically told her to try and be more kind and gentle, which Toph, that was never going to happen. If she did that, she probably wouldn't be able to earthbend as well, because she has to be stubborn like the element. But I'm so happy that Toph didn't let it escalate. She just was agreeable. She was nice. It was weird. She wasn't like aggressive like she normally is. She was just stubborn in her way of teaching, but she also didn't want to create a fight. And I'm so happy with that. It feels like they're already growing in their group and that they're understanding each other more. At least Toph is. I think the creators of this have just done an amazing job at like identifying key elements of the elements and having them relate to characters. Toph feels so much like the Earth, stubborn and just quite brutal, and I'm loving that we got to see her teaching style and the way they've managed to relate it and connect them to the ideas of elements is done so well and like so in-depth. I'm loving just how much detail everything there is. Cannot wait till we get more in-depth on the firebenders now and how that whole thing works, because I feel like we haven't touched on that enough. For me, they feel like there is some like, we've got some building blocks, but I'm going to need to try and remember it now. We had some stuff when Zuko was first training to defeat Zhao and went that whole stuff with basically coming from the breath, and you had the control in the feet and being planted and being balanced. We have stuff now on lightning bending, but it doesn't feel as in-depth as the other elements yet, because I'm assuming that they're going to have to deal with that in the third season. But like, we got some little bits of training tips from the guy who doesn't like firebending anymore and sees it as purely destructive. So that seems like a counterproductive anyway. But like, just seeing how in-depth they've gone with all the other ones, I cannot wait to see how in-depth they go with the antagonist's bending style and how that all play into everything. Also, I did really like Katara's role in this. She was the emotional support guiding Aang when he fell down. I mean, it may have been counterproductive since he isn't then facing his problems head on. He's getting a reassurance. I mean, it's probably a good balance of both. I think Katara's presence there was helpful. So I don't think it would. I think if he just had Toph, he probably wouldn't have done that well. It probably would have taken longer for him to sort of stand up to her, maybe, because he still has that airbendingness in him where he just wants to avoid everything. Katara at least has the understanding that you take those attacks from Toph and turn it back against her. So I guess that is what Aang did. He didn't avoid the problem. He took the attack, which I guess was her whacking the stick with, whacking the nut with the stick, and Aang basically caught it and stopped her. That was basically redirecting it, and he's learnt that from Katara. But yeah, I'm still waiting for like more, I guess, connection between Katara and Toph, because we've mainly seen Aang's connection with Toph and how they're getting along quite well. But I want to, because like we only got friction from Katara and Toph in the last episode. Sokka still feels like he's almost on the outside a bit, just because he's had a lot of stories separate from the group. We haven't seen that much interaction. He's either trying to sleep, eat, or do something, and he can't train Aang. He's always had to do something separate. So I feel like he hasn't been able to have like a dedicated moment with Toph and how that connects. So I'm still waiting for that. But yeah, now, so we've had friction between Toph and Katara. Now we've had somewhat, not support, just sort of trying to learn how to deal with each other and almost ignore others' advice and just get on with our own thing. So that still doesn't feel that great. So I'm hoping that this will continue to develop into something more friendship related. Maybe they can listen to each other and can grow with each other and not just ignore each other's advice and get on with their own thing, which did work here, but it probably would not work forever. Then, of course, you had Sokka, who was stuck in a hole for the entire episode, which is quite funny, and it does add the levity to the episode, which wasn't... Yeah, Zuko's obviously more serious, and still had the comedy, but it was more developmental, and Sokka's adds the comedy to this episode. So I do like that he is that character dedicated to bringing more light to it, but I do hope we get more scenes where he's sort of developing, because it still feels like he's almost underpowered. I want to get more stuff with Katara and Sokka, because Toph feels unbelievably powerful. Aang is getting stronger now that he's got a third element, and Zuko is now learning a new thing as well, yet Katara and Sokka seem stationary. Katara hasn't learned a new skill in a while. We haven't seen how she's developed with waterbending. We don't know how strong she has gotten since the whole North Pole. And then Sokka is still with the boomerang and the sword, and I feel like he's just going to be outmatched. They keep introducing new villains and like new powers. So we have lightning bending, and we've got a full-on lightning bending user who's going after them. We have Mei, who can shoot daggers from her hands, and we have Ty Lee, who can like mess with people's bending and muscles and whatever. Yeah, Sokka He feels like he hasn't developed a new skill yet, and I'm hoping we get something on that soon. I mean, it's fine for him being the comedy relief character, but I want like something more from him that he can keep up with everyone else. Like even Toph pointed it out, I think, in the last episode, where she basically said, all of us plus Sokka, because she didn't count him as someone important because he wasn't able to bend. And then I guess in the like final shot when they're all fighting Azula, you had all the elements going after her, and then you just have Sokka by himself not being able to do anything. So I feel like he might just get washed away from all the powers that are like present. So I'm hoping we just get something that levels him up and puts him on the same playing field as everyone else. But yeah, overall, I love this episode. I think I definitely preferred the last one and everything that it did, but this one was very close to that. We got so much from Zuko, so much like just in-depth drama and development on that side. We had Aang's development, and then we had Sokka's funniness. I think it's incredibly well balanced. And yeah, I just love how they play with tone. And we haven't had a bad episode yet since Toph's thing. And everyone keeps saying that we just keep going into amazing episodes. So far, you have not been proven wrong, and I cannot wait to see what else comes from this. So yeah, with that said, that does bring us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one for Season 2, Episode 10. See ya!